China, which was formerly called Gym Noises and was part of a larger package, but this is one of the remasters of little skits that we thought didn't get their due the first time around.
Yeah.
And this one it's about going to the gym, because that's what I do. And this one, in the original recording, there was a woman with a basket on these metal casters behind me, so the actual raw film has this like happening the whole time because she's dragging it, and it's so loud.
Yeah, wheels is a generous term for whatever is on the bottom of this basket.
Just metal scraping. Which I think the first time around you like hit it in the soundtrack. Mm-hmm. And then the second time you managed. Well, why don't you address that?
Well, it's just a matter of hiding it in different ways with different effects, kind of like the same thing that we did with one of the last ones. I forget the name already, but it's...
But like you said, with a year more experience, you're kind of better at...
Yeah. Well, it's putting makeup on stuff. You can't make it go away. It's stuck on the audio. You can't just clear it out. There isn't like a separate stereo mono mix or something like that. It's just basically like you top a bunch of other noise on top of it to like fool the ear that like, oh, I'm just in an exciting action-packed area.
Yeah, that noise belongs there and I like it.
Yeah, that's all you can really do.
Yeah.
We've talked like about like when we watch something like Bourdain, we would always watch, and how much actual stuff is being talked over on voiceover.
Yeah, especially in a bar or a restaurant, it's really hard to get clean sound.
Or a market or a food court or something like. They would basically be yelling at each other, and then jump out to a voiceover as quickly as you could.
Yeah, and sometimes like the conversation is good enough that they subtitle it even.
Yeah.
Because live conversation, I know that he thought, and I also think live conversation is more engaging than a sterile voiceover after the fact, I think.
Yeah. It's almost worth it just to try that little bit of effort to maintain it somehow. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's one thing, particularly us and other vloggers here in China. I know there's other countries that are loud too, but China is a very loud country, and anyone that's trying to get any kind of audio is just... Watch any vlogger. If they're out on the street, there's going to be a scene where they're just like, and that's a horn.
Yeah.
And that's a baby. And that's a baby yelling at a horn. So there's going to be... it's a nightmare for audio.
Yeah. China. A nightmare for audio. So that was one of the first things we noticed when we moved here. We'd go down like the main street by the center of the old town. And the stores would all have PAs that were all like blasted out broken.
Yeah.
Because they just like, there's an arms race of like, I'm going to turn mine up, I'm going to turn mine up. And then like, there's no bass anymore.
Everyone has blown out speakers all the way down the street. And it's just yelling distortion.
Yeah. And so, that's the sonic landscape we're working with.
That's shopping. And they're yelling deals at you. Mm-hmm. And you're either going to run away from them or you're going to buy a deal just to get out of there. So
it
works.
Yeah, sure.